Ladies and gentlemen, the days of building inspections, expensive ones, strata inspections, expensive ones, I think they may have been gone. Stay tuned. Property inspections, we're going to talk more about them.
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, Billy, how are you?
Good, thank you. I don't know where I am today. I guess you could say in the library where your due diligence gets done.
Yeah, you're laying down on a very large desk.
Got my magnifying glass out because you need to be careful. When you're buying property, you can get stitched up big time if you don't do your research.
Big time. It is so important, and it's changed. Like, I had a client ask yesterday about this, and I thought, great topic, very relevant, because how it has been done in the last 10, 20, 30 years has definitely changed. And it's easy, but it needs to be explained. It's not that easy. So
well, I guess we could say, fortunately for the purchaser, a lot of this stuff actually gets organized by the agent on behalf of the vendor now. Whereas before, well before my time, you were explaining to me that's not how it's always been.
Long time ago, like in 2015.
Back when the beard wasn't grey. The golden days.
The golden days. So where we're coming from is this: we would get an offer accepted on a property, then you would commission a building inspection, particularly if it was a house. You'd pay in the order of $500-600. Then you'd get a pest inspection, which is a couple $100, sometimes the same person. And if it was a strata building, you would order a strata inspection. Now, on all of those inspections, you would lose up to a week in getting that organised, and you would lose over $1,000 in getting that organised if you're doing the strata and the building inspection and pest inspection on the property. Now, the big thing, the most painful thing is if you're trying to transact a property and it's a hot market, to wait a week, it's tough. And the other thing was buyers were wasting money. So buyers were all using different building inspectors, all using strata. So a property could get 5 different building inspectors inspecting it, and someone buying a strata unit could have the books, inspected up to 5, 6, 7 times. So it put strata. It gave some good work to strata inspectors and building inspectors, because you often got one property done multiple times. And it added more work to the people holding the strata books and the vendors showing the building inspectors.
But you can imagine for people like tenants or, guys living in the property, even owner-occupiers, it's a nightmare, right? You've got these people, although they don't take long and they don't really need to come inside and cause too much disturbance, it's a nightmare to have these people walking in and out. And you can imagine having it done 5 times over, it get pretty annoying. So having it streamlined into one company providing for all, I think has worked really well.
Well, imagine the poor buyer who keeps missing properties. They keep buying building inspections. They could spend up to 5, 6, 7 grand over a period of a couple of months if they keep missing property.
Yeah, it's true. So the new way, should we talk about the new way it's being done? Because you said, people coming back into the market after 5, 6, 7 years living in a property, this all might seem a bit foreign.
Oh yeah, like it's I think buyers are sort of none the wiser, sort of first-time buyers. They're like, oh, okay, that's how it's done. Particularly like when you and I were talking about it. But vendors who have transacted in the last 10, 20, 30 years are scratching their head, going, really? I like it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good really, because it's a lot easier. So there's a couple of big companies organising these and working with our owners to get these reports back to us. The benefits, it's a lot cheaper, it's a lot more efficient, and they're coming back in really, really quick turnaround times. So we'll put the request in, they usually get in contact with a strata manager, and we've got the report 24 hours after the documents have been cited. There's no running around, which is good. That goes for strata reports. So the vendor often pays a $29 deposit, and there's a couple of different ways, a couple of different options. So if you're a vendor a little bit tight for cash, you can actually put a $0 deposit up front, but it just means the prospective purchasers end up paying a little bit more to download the report.
Yep. So just to take it from the top, this is one report that's done for one property from one building inspector, one strata inspector. And they choose to share this report with all buyers that would like to buy the report for a small fee. So rather than getting through 6 inspectors or 4 inspectors charging full freight by purchasers, the vendor gets this done. Now, it's generally done by a clever real estate agent who wants to when the photo shoot's being done, they will organise the strata inspection if it's a strata property, and the building inspection of the house. So can you go over those costs again?
So the most common option we use for a strata report, the vendor pays a $29 deposit, and then the purchaser goes through, likes what they see at the property and wants to download the report. They spend $29, and then the successful purchaser of the property pays an additional $220. If the property is not sold, the vendor pays the $220. So all up, if you purchase the property, go all the way through with it, $250, that's your property, but you're not having to spend $250 up front. It's just $29.
And that's generally done by way of credit card. We hand out like a QR code. The tenant pays by credit card and orders a report. And the great thing that I love about all of this is it's instant. Because it was done when the photo shoot was done, it's there, it's ready to download once you pay. To wait a week and have to find a strata searcher.
That's it. All the hard work's actually been done for the clients on either side. It's the agent that organises it, which is nice because we are using reputable companies that are quick turnaround times, know what they're doing. They work with us day in, day out. So it's worked. I think it's worked well for everyone, really. And if you
building
left it
inspections?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you left it in the hands of other people, they might get a little bit lost. Building inspections, very similar. Very similar. We use a great guy, Colin, who organises those for us. Again, similar system. The vendor pays a deposit of $250, and that gives you your building report and your pest report. They are separated. And then to download that one, it's $99, and that's for anyone.
And then if you're successful as a purchaser?
That's just standard for Colin. So $99 to download the report. And I believe he may charge a fee, but I'm not sure where that sits. I'll have to recap and get that information to you. But it's not as much as what you were saying, Mark, where you have to organise your own. Although in some cases people choose to with standalone properties. We see that more often than units.
And I love the success fee part of it. I love the part where you only pay if you bought the property, whereas previously for years and years you're paying full freight all the time. Now here's a couple of hacks or a couple of things you can watch out for as a purchaser. I do always give the advice to purchasers, try not to go through 10 properties and buy 10 reports just to see what they're like.
Yeah.
Try to get your offer accepted on the property first and then buy your report. Because if it's a bad report, you may be able to have some wiggle room in the negotiation, even if you've got an offer accepted based upon the strata inspection or based upon the building and pest inspection. I do see people getting they're more due diligence people that will actually just buy reports because they just like the property. They'll get to the end of the month and once they've bought 6 or 7 reports and dusted, $600 or $700. Be careful.
Another tip for purchasers: as soon as strata report comes up, people instantly think, "What's in the sinking fund?" There's obviously a lot more to these reports. Talk to the agent selling the property because they can often give you basic. They can obviously walk you through the report in simple form. In short, they've obviously, in most cases, reviewed the report themselves. So you don't need to be purchasing the report just to ask what's in the sinking fund or what's in the sinking fund. It's often, you can look at it in more detail, of course, but the simple stuff, the agent should be able to tell you.
And before we go, something that's really important is just bear in mind, it's a bit like an insurance policy. These are good, these reports. But like an insurance policy, there's good insurers and there's really good insurers. So you're often not going to get the Rottweiler of building inspections, which is what you want. Often you may get the light building inspection, so I've got to be really careful how I use my words here. But like anything, you can buy insurance, which is bloody expensive, and really, really covers everything. Or you can buy cheap insurance that doesn't cover flood. And I think building and strata inspections can be like that as well. So if you really, really want to be careful, you may want to put a layer over the top, i.e. another building inspection. That's really rare. I still would recommend that it is an option.
Yeah, without a doubt. And to sign off, you were saying, Mark, if you're organising your own strata inspection, be careful because you can't get to look at the whole block. You were saying just the individual unit?
I always find that when buyers do a building inspection on the strata, because they generally, it's too high to get on the roof. They can't get in the roof. They can only inspect 1 out of 12 units if it's a block of 12, and they can do a boundary perimeter walk. A building inspector, you're generally going to get more out of a strata inspection in relation to the building and the history of the building than getting a physical builder to turn up and walk around. So I think it's a little bit overkill, but some people don't want to be careful, don't want to be sure. Okay, but it's unusual.
That's it. Any questions? Put them in here afterwards. We can certainly give you the details of the companies we're using. They're really good guys, local guys. But this is the better way to do it, Mark. It's obviously taken a number of years to get to this point, but it's a lot more efficient now, I think.
Big time. And that is building pest inspections these days.
That's a wrap. Be careful,
Thanks,
save your money, and spend it only when necessary.
That's it.
Ciao.
Take care, Ledge. Bye.